So welcome to this preview video of the NBA basketball matches, which we only have 3 of them come night. And so it's gonna be a quick one. And about the results yesterday, I think the Nuggets, there were 2 that lost the last quarter, and in this last quarter they lost the game. And also the over-under, I'm not really sure. I think there were 2 of them were good and 4 of them were bad, which is not such a good result. But I'm not keeping record of these right now. It's getting too much work for me. And still I'm trying to show you that there is a tool to compile the prices for you, the NBA tool that you find if you follow the link in the description, and leave your likes, leave your comments, or subscribe to my channel, please, if you like what you see. And I think the calculations are going pretty well. About the total points, we had been talking yesterday already. We can repeat that, of course. There had been too few coming, most likely going down to the new ball that the players do not seem to be able to handle too well. If we look at the Brooklyn Nets against Golden State Warriors, the calculations have already been done here. 3.6. Of course, that sounds wrong because Golden State Warriors are still somewhere at the top to me. So market may have a different view here. Utah Jazz -4 or 3.7. It sounds pretty okay to me. Sixers do look fine. And I mean, market just, if I talk about my tool, my tool's calculations are, of course, on the spot. Well, as I said, apart from the totals at the moment, which still may be, they do adjust to that new ball, and maybe the point average is going up again. We have to keep an eye on that. 3.9 Clippers ahead against the Spurs sounds pretty okay to me. So the computer will only find a prediction in the Brooklyn Nets game. A contradiction to the market, I guess, but it's not, in fact. 163 to 25, that is on the spot, so I'm quite proud of that. 166 to 51, so if I were a bookmaker, I would pay these prices as well. 122, this one sounds like we have to go with the Sixers, which I would instantly do, because Utah may be pretty okay. I watched the one game. They lost it in the end against the Heat, but I think they are. It's more a team effort than those Joe Ingles, or, well, there are not so many outstanding players. But of course I'm not sure about the lineups at the moment, and I'm not keeping track of that. But we would have a huge edge here, which possibly goes down to a player missing or a back-to-back. I think we can check already here, but we have the problem with the preseason because Sportsmonk is not making a huge difference here. But we see that we are not far away. If this is rosé here or a bit red, it means okay. Slightly I had them wrong, but in our favor, because we want to go against Utah, and they had not been performing so well. But it's pretty close here all over. And the Sixers are also a bit red here, or quite a bit. 1.7 wins missing, or losses too many. Sorry. 1.69 wins missing. 1.69 losses too many. But the 4 goals is pretty okay, and the against ones. So we had been pretty okay with these records here, which the colors indicate, right? As soon as something is green, it's fine. As soon as it's very red, it's very bad. If it's rosé, it's okay, but not terrible, not great. But this most likely will go down to some kind of team news. Still, there is an indication Here it looks like it's the same thing. I mean, we can decide to pick the so to say the more careful approach, whereby if you bet on the lines, you have to put up with the fact that as soon as they notice they can't catch them anymore, they can lose by 10, 12, 15 because they do not mind so much. They wouldn't try to beat the line here. They try to win the game. If they are unable to, they do not care for your money and try to beat the line. But it's the more careful approach, and usually they play regularly, especially in NBA when they know this betting is on. In football, it's a bit different because it's still like, oh, there are bets going on, something like that. In USA, it's very common. Everyone bets on it. They all know about it, right? So we would have these two indications. Of course, I can't be too proud of them, whereby the indications do make sense to me. For the totals, we can have a quick look. 221. Here we have 222.4. So this is not a huge deviation. We wouldn't have an indication anyway. Computer still says a little more than they say here. The Utah 215. There we have 219. So it's just like 4 points away. So we could consider the over. If we see it here, then it means this is minus and this is minus. It means too few points, right? And if you look at the other side, it's this minus, this one minus. So it's obviously a minus performance, which means they all underperform. They all do not score as many goals or points as we expected. So of course we wouldn't have an over indication at all in this one. We can check out the next one where we have 212.5 and market is 219. So here we would have kind of a reliable under, but we have to check that because we have to check here whether or not we had too few or too many goals. But as we see, we did have too few, because this is a minus sign here, right? This is how many they had really been scored and how many we expected. So this deviation goes always in our favor, in fact. So I'm a bit surprised, but that would be kind of a clear indication. So we would have these three indications, and I would leave you with this. It's just 3 games, and I try to keep that on a daily basis, but I have to check with my own time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.